Firefox and refresh the channel dashboard, I know that I can go in there and get a link, and I'm not sure why it didn't let me do that.
Yeah.
We are supposedly live.
I think we're live. All right.
Oh, we are definitely live. Definitely live.
Obviously, we are not super well versed at this, but we're working it out. Well, hey, how you doing?
I'm great, Tyler. How you doing?
Doing fabulous. The Brave Sun campaign has started with. We had a great start, and we're already what 460% of our goal technically.
Yeah.
You know, so it's exciting stuff. It's
I
fun.
always thought it was a little funny having such a small uh, a small goal, but I've talked of the creators that I've talked to, it's really they say that it's the way to go.
Yeah. It
Okay.
I mean, especially with a campaign like this, it's mostly just digital files. Like we don't have to set any kind of a high goal or anything anyway. So it just kind of like helps the backers to feel like, hey, this is a real thing. This is happening. This isn't something that we have to work really hard to hit some goal. It's like it's already happening. I can jump on board, or I can just leave it alone. You know?
Yeah, and we are almost all of the Kickstarters that I've done have been digital projects, not physical products, and it seems like most of the time the physical products ones I do are um, good, but sometimes they don't show up.
Yeah.
I can tell you a story about a certain case, a PC case, that will be forever in infamy for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Uh,
that happens. And what I've noticed on the Brave Sun campaign, we opened this one up to get the physical printed miniatures, right? Um, Almost no one is backing at that tier, and that's okay. You know, like our audience is definitely focused on 3D printing, and that's awesome. You know,
yeah,
and it's a fun game, and we got lots of stuff to 3D print. So I think people who back at those tiers are going to be very happy. And we're going to show them today how the game is actually played, right?
yes, sir. We're going to learn how to play Brave Sun. I read the rules. I assure you, I read the rules, but I'm going to need all of the rules hand fed to me again.
Okay, and that's okay. It's pretty easy to learn, actually. This is a game that I mean we've actually done this on several occasions, uh, where you can sit down and play with people that have never played before and have never even played like a Starship Miniatures game before at all, and teach them in a totally reasonable amount of time and have them play and actually do moderately well. Now, obviously, like you can't just transfer your strategic prowess to someone who's just jumping into a game like this. Like understanding how strategy works and how war works and stuff like that. That kind of stuff is going to help you to actually play effectively and beat other players. But the actual mechanics of the game, the core rules and everything, people can actually get a grasp of it pretty quickly.
That's
So,
good.
yeah. So,
I assure you, there's no prowess on my end. So
oh.
I've played lots of full thrust in my time, but
Uh-huh.
there's no prowess involved in that at all.
Okay.
For me, at least. Other players in my group, maybe.
Just full power to engines every turn and then fly off the map.
Oh yeah. Well, not before you lose your fire control, so you can't fire back anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, this game's a little bit less management than something like that. So I'm going to show you around the Tabletop Simulator mod real quick.
Okay.
So the first place that we're kind of hoping for people to go is to this little document that's floating over here. And this is just to show, hey, these are some of the things that you do that are specific to Tabletop Simulator that is just going to help out with like kind of managing some of the things. So for example, we've set up some hotkeys. So if you have your GUI, you go to options at the top and
Yep.
then game keys. We've set some hotkeys so you can actually choose what key on your keyboard will place an activation token, a firing token, a damage token. And it just helps to kind of speed things along, so that's just an optional thing there.
All
And
right. I've
and
got those set.
Yeah, and then I like to do 8, 9, and 0 because
Yep.
using 1 through 7 is something that we're going to do with these maneuver tracks. So I'm going to show you these maneuver tracks here in the center. And that's the second tip that's on this little sheet there. To turn the maneuver tracks, you just hover over it and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So
Right.
each of those is just turning at 30 degrees from 90 degrees left to 90 degrees right. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using those to actually move our ships during the game. We're just going to place it in the front, just in those front guides.
Yep.
And then you can set the angle and then move it to the end. And that would be one move action. I like to kind of zoom in and just try to put it right there in the guides, but pretty intuitive, pretty easy, right?
Yeah. This is not. I've owned Tabletop Simulator forever, but I think this is the first time I've actually tried to actually play a game in it.
Oh, really?
But the keys for moving around is very, like, 3D modeling software that I use is all this kind of movement too. So.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Tabletop Simulator is great for prototyping and stuff. It's a little wonky sometimes. We might experience some bugs, but, we'll work through it. It can be wonky. What's nice, though, is that this mod that I've created is pretty simple. It doesn't use, like, a lot of special features. It's mostly we're just going to be dropping tokens and moving the pieces around, so we shouldn't run into too many issues. There is one new thing that I added, though, and that is the new round button. And I'm going to have to actually move my camera real quick. Does the new round button at the top, does it show up for you at the top left of the screen?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And another thing I'm going to do before I forget is I'm going to promote you so that you can do stuff like copying and pasting objects and stuff.
All right.
In between rounds, we're going to be removing some tokens and maybe cleaning up some of the dice and stuff. So we just added a new round button to make it so that people can, boop, delete those automatically in between rounds.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. So we each have rulers, we each have maneuver tracks, then we're going to pull tokens for whatever going out of the bags. So what on the corner, it looks like we've got reference sheets. These are the same, two of the same PDFs that you get in the actual game when you when you back it on Kickstarter or through My Mini Factory.
Yeah, so these are the tables that we're going to be referencing the most throughout the actual game. So it's laying out what the actual actions you can choose from are, and what they do, and how many action points they each cost. Above that is the on the activations and actions page. I think we disconnected.
Did we?
I disconnected. Did you not get disconnected?
No, I don't think so. I still see your icon on the other side.
Does it let you? Yeah. So it
Oh,
says.
there it goes.
Okay.
There it goes.
Let me just open it up again real quick. Hopefully that doesn't happen while we're playing. Create. Oh. Is it opening? Alright, let me open up the game again. And then just invite you again.
All right. Ready.
Okay, I've sent an invite.
Is that going to bring me in?
Is it not doing anything? I said we might encounter bugs. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
I swear it let me. Oh, yeah. It's in the server list when you click join. That's weird.
All right. Yeah, something happened with the server. Not sure. I actually don't think I've run into that issue before, where it just kicked us out of the server.
All right, so I'm going to choose green again.
All right. Everything working on your end?
It appears to be, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we probably need to reset our options, game keys. Oh, no, it saved it. Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
Perfect. Awesome. So we were just talking about the actions, and above that is the ship classes. So there's only 4 classes of ships. They each behave just slightly differently, and the differences are all pretty much laid out right there in that grid. So the fighters, they get 4 actions whenever they activate. Frigates get 3, cruisers get 3, dreadnoughts get 4. And it really is just an activation and actions based game. We're going to be taking turns activating one ship at a time. So these bases that we see tons of them over on the side, we're going to be building a fleet out of them, and then we're going to be taking turns activating one ship at a time. So I'll activate one, it'll get all of its actions. So like a cruiser is going to get 3, frigates are going to get 3, fighters would get 4, dreadnoughts would get 4. So whichever one I choose to activate, it's going to get the number of actions, and then it's going to be done. We don't have to use all of the actions, but there are a couple limitations on the fighter and the frigate, and that is that fighters and frigates, which are the 2 smallest ones, they always have to be moving. They have to start their activation with a move. The larger ones, they do not have to move if they don't want to, but the smaller ones, they start with a move action, then you get the other actions, and honestly, the game is pretty much that simple. Then it just becomes a matter of learning how the different actions work.
What's the reasoning behind that? Is that are you trying to simulate like inertia or momentum or something else?
Partly yes, but then the other part to that is the shield symbol on the ships, on the bases, represents their overall defense, agility, all countermeasures. And smaller ships are going to be harder to hit, but they're only going to be harder to hit as long as they're moving. And so if they were to stop moving, they would no longer have their agility, and they wouldn't be as effective in combat. So this is kind of inspired by the big Star Wars battles that you see in the movies. Like in Episode 3, you've got like this massive starship battle. You've got the big cruisers and the dreadnoughts and stuff. They're not technically dreadnoughts, but like these are kind of like those similar sizes. And they're not moving nearly as fast, and they're not moving nearly as much. But the smaller ships like corvettes and fighters and stuff like that, they're moving through and they're trying to avoid all of this turret fire that's coming from these ships. And so their agility, the agility on the smaller ships is going to tend to be, like their defense is going to tend to be higher than the larger ships. And so that's all just kind of built into the way that the stats work to kind of make it a little bit more realistic, I guess. Like fighters are going to tend to have a higher agility, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Okay, cool. All right. So where do you think we should start? Should we start by building some fleets? And then we can go over like what each of the stats do and everything like that. Do you want to go over what the stats are before we build anything? Everything should be pretty well balanced.
Well, let's grab an identical deployment of ships and then just go through the basics. And then we'll go through fleet building in a second. Or well, once that's done.
Okay, well let me try to grab some that I think would be good for that. Let's grab like one of each class of ship. So like a raider, slingshot, probably a striker, and we'll grab the massive dreadnought. I just finished actually designing another dreadnought, and I just uploaded it to the stretch goals.
Ooh, was that the $500 stretch goal that I saw?
It was the first stretch goal, the $100 stretch goal. I just decided, you know what? We're getting a dreadnought in there no matter what. Here, so let me grab.
Oh, that's silly. Steam just sent me the invite that you just sent to get in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right. So how do I rotate these?
E and Q.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And we want these within 3 inches of the board edge.
So it's going to be, I believe in the rules it's 6.
Okay.
We don't place them starting out. We're actually going to take turns placing them. So everything kind of happens based on initiative. So you and I would both roll a single dice. So there's one for you, there's one for me. I like to just hit the R key a bunch, or you can literally just chuck it. Yeah, you can drag it and let go.
Looks like you're going first.
Yeah, and the highest roll gets initiative. So I take the initiative token. Now this is actually going to be passing back and forth between us. So I'm not always going to have initiative. But during the first round I'll have initiative, during the second round you'll have initiative, and it'll keep passing. So I with initiative, I actually get a command token, and we'll actually each get a couple command tokens. But I would get an extra one because I'm taking initiative first.
Okay.
I have a slight disadvantage because I have to place a ship first and I have to activate a ship first.
Yeah.
So I'd place one anywhere within 6 inches of the edge. We got these nice little rulers. They're already on the edge. And I just place it somewhere, and it can be any rotation. If we wanted to, we could set up some terrain. Maybe we'll do that when we actually play through. But I'll just place it right here, and then you would place any one of your ships.
All right. I'm going to place this guy right there.
Okay. I'm going to place my dreadnought, and I'm going to have him at an angle. And he's done.
All right. I'm also going to place my dreadnought, and he is also going to be slightly at an angle.
Are you copying me? No, just kidding.
No. No, not at all.
My striker will go here.
All right. I'm going to put my fighter right here.
Keep in mind the attack range on pretty much everything except for fighters is going to be 12 inches.
Or fighters are 8, right?
Fighters are 8. So they get the extra action, but they don't shoot as far. And then I'll bring my slingshot over here.
All right. There's not collisions in the game, right?
There are collisions. I mean, it's not like you're just going to straight up blow up. It's going to be you run into somebody, you have a 50% chance of taking a damage.
I guess cruisers don't have to move as their first action, so I can put this guy right here.
Right. Cruisers don't have to move at all if they don't want to. But yeah, they don't have to start with a move. Okay. And now that we're all set up, we're going to start with activating. So I get to choose any one of my ships to activate. I think I'm going to start with the slingshot, actually.
Okay.
Now, I guess there are some other limitations for the differences in the different categories of ships. For example, the larger ships, the cruisers, for example, they are an extra inch longer than the frigates. So if they were to use the 4-inch maneuver track, they're actually moving an extra inch further than the frigates are. So they actually can't use the 4-inch maneuver track.
Is that the same for dreadnoughts as well?
It is the same for dreadnoughts. They can't use the 4 or the 3 because they're an extra inch longer. They can't use it in the front guides, but what we can do is we can actually take it, we can place it on the side of the ship and just drag it along, drag the ship along. So that way it is moving exactly 4 inches. So I'd pick like a spot on the ship, maybe the end of this this stat right here. So it's just kind of lined up with the box here, and I could drag it along until that lines up on the end. That way it is moving 4 inches. He's not getting some kind of an advantage for the fact that he's longer, being able to move along the 4-inch track. So he can move with the 3, he can move with the 2, or he can move with any one of them placed on the side. And it's the same thing for the dreadnought. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to move him forward 3 inches. Or with the 3-inch track, he's not necessarily moving forward 3 inches because he's also moving his own length. I'm going to move him one more time. He gets one more action.
Yep. Cruisers get 3 actions right there.
And that action is going to be to defend. So I grab a defense token. And it's lined out right here. I'll show it. Here. One cool thing, actually, is if you hold Alt while you're moused over any object, it'll like kind of show a zoomed-in version of the object.
Okay.
So the defend action, we place a defense token. A ship can only have 1 defense token at a time. But what it does is if you get attacked, it's like your defense is 1 higher. You're getting 1 extra defense dice.
Yeah, you've taken cover, or you've braced, or something
Power
of
to
that nature.
shields.
Yeah, power to shields is...
Evasive maneuvers. All of the above. Now, I've finished my actions with this ship. He's only got 3 actions, right? However, one of the actions that's available in the list is an action called Push the Limit. Its cost is 0. And what it does is it gives you an extra action. But at a risk. If you push the limit, you have to roll what's called a danger dice. And the danger dice also happens if you collide with another ship. It's basically just, you roll a dice, you got a 50-50 chance you take 1 damage for each danger dice.
It's rolling a D3 in Warhammer, where 1, 2, 3 is one result, and then 4, 5, 6 is the other result, right?
I guess that would technically be like a D2.
Yeah.
It'd be like a coin flip. Yeah, so it's essentially if you roll a 1, 2, 3, then you take a damage. You want high rolls. In this game, high rolls are pretty much always better. So I'm not going to push the limit, but I just wanted to explain that is a possibility.
So do you have to put an activation token next to this guy?
Yes. So I believe that's 8. So he's got an activation token. He's not going to be able to activate again during this whole round. So everyone else is going to activate, and then it's going to be a new round. Then he'll be able to activate again. But he might not necessarily be the first one to activate on the next round.
All right. Does that mean it's my turn?
That means it's your turn. So
Oh my god.
you get to pick any one of your ships to activate.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick the slingshot. I'm gonna grab
Just
the.
always copying, man.
Well, I figure you designed this, so you.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I've made quite a few games, and my wife often beats me at my own games.
That's good. Now, unlike Star Wars Armada, and I might be speaking out of turn here, but I believe that you can't pre-measure in Star Wars Armada for some reason. But you can in Brave Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so I am going to move 3. How do I zoom? Ooh. Okay, so the mouse wheel will also rotate you.
Right, I forget that.
Right. A little bit more. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
looks good to me.
Then I'm gonna move again, except I'm gonna rotate. This was... Nope. Nope.
Yeah, you can just kind of cycle through.
And then... Whoop.
So
Now,
one thing I like to do that kind of helps is at the top of the screen, lift height. It's got like a symbol of a guy lifting weights.
Yep.
I like to actually drag that all the way down to the bottom. So
I was
that
pretty
way,
close to the bottom, so now this should be even better, because these things have structure, so it doesn't want to. If you're on top of it, it's supposed to like be on top of it like
Right.
that.
right.
Okay. So if I go like that, it should just fall, right? And be flat. Hey, look at that. Oh, that's a little too much. Don't want to get excuse
I mean,
given
it's
to me.
it's it's fine. I mean, it's gonna happen when you're playing the real game too. Things get bumped a little sometimes. Like we try to avoid it, but I'm not like a super big stickler about it or anything.
All right, so you are. Is it to the base or is it to the center?
So edge to edge, the edge of the base to the edge of the base.
So you're 6 inches away from me,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
I want to attack you.
awesome. So let's talk a little bit about what the range bonuses are real quick, and they're kind of built into the ruler here. So the ruler's built into 3 segments. We've got 4 inches, 8 inches, and then 12 inches. If
So
you're
you're
if you're within 4 inches, you get an extra dice. So that's what we're seeing there. +1 dice, +1 attack. If you're between 4 and 8 inches, there's no change. So you're just going to get whatever the firing arc on your ship shows, which is just the number of dice, plus modifiers. And we'll do those when you actually roll dice for your attack. But if you're outside of 8 inches but within 12, you get a negative modifier. So you're not going to have any changes to your attack for right now. And you're going to go ahead and roll 3 dice. So if you want to just go ahead and grab 3 red dice.
Then I'm going to select all these and roll.
Awesome, that's a good roll.
That's hit start at 4, right?
Hit start
Is that
at 3.
Hit start at 3.
Hit start at 3. 1s and 2s are just a miss. Unless you are able to modify them to something higher than a 2.
Now I do have a negative modifier on this.
Yes.
Ward arc.
So what that means is that so for every minus, you have to subtract 1 from any one of your dice.
Okay.
You only have the 1 minus, so you only have to subtract 1 from one of them. What's nice is you can hover over a dice and you can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And
So I'm
that'll
gonna
actually change it to that.
I'm going to change this to a 3 because 3s are still hits, right?
They are still hits.
Yeah. Now we have to resolve. It's opposing dice, right? So you're going to need to roll, but you get a plus modifier because you've defended, right?
I'm getting an extra dice. I'm not getting a plus modifier for defending.
Okay.
Yeah, so the defense on a slingshot is a 1 minus. So it's 1 dice with a negative modifier. I'm getting an extra dice. I don't have to apply that modifier to the extra dice. It's just a defense is an extra dice. So I'm going to roll 2. If you're declaring this as your attack, because when you use the attack action, you do get a free reroll. If you don't like your roll, you do get to do what's called retargeting. You can reroll the whole thing. You probably don't want to. You had a good roll.
No, I had a great
Yeah.
roll. I'm good for it.
All right. So now I roll. I'm trying to get something. Okay. See, that's a good roll.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to actually counteract each of your dice. Each of your dice is a hit. I'm trying to cancel them. I can only cancel them by rolling something equal to or higher. So this 5 could cancel any one of these. This 5 could cancel. But then no matter what, there's going to be one of them left over, which is going to be 1 damage going through.
Okay.
So we'll place a damage token. But on top of that, anytime you take hits if you have a defense token and you take hits, even if you blocked them, if your opponent rolled any hits, I lose the defense token. So now if you have another ship come through and attack, I'm not going to have that defense token available anymore.
Okay.
So what I like to do is just delete everything because these bags are infinite. Just cleans things up. And another thing that we're going to do real quick.
Oh, it shows that we fired out of our forward arc, right?
Exactly. Now, I didn't really warn you about this, but you're going to find out the hard way. When you attack, if your target that you're firing at has you within 1 or more of their firing arcs, they get to attack you back, as long as the arcs that they're firing from have not been used. So I moved forward. I didn't attack during my activation. you moved into my firing range. So while you're firing at me, or maybe right after you're firing at me, essentially, I'm able to fire right back. I don't even have to put a lot of effort into targeting you because you've gone into my firing range. So that's why I'm able to just counter fire. There is a slight disadvantage in that I don't get a reroll. If I don't like my roll, I don't get to reroll for a counterattack.
All right, so that means when you attack, I'm going to be rolling 1 defense dice, right? And it's -1 from its roll.
Right. This is my roll. I don't get to reroll the whole thing, but I do have a negative modifier on that arc. So I'm actually going to apply it here to the 2 and turn it into a 1. So you have to deal with a 6 and a 3.
All right, let's see if I can't negate one of those.
That was a sad roll.
Sad roll.
If we can even call that a roll. I'll let you re-roll that.
There we go. I figured it out.
Even worse.
All right, well, there we go.
Well, if it was the 3, it would have changed to a 2.
Yeah. So it would have been the same result anyway.
Yeah. So that's going to be 2 damage on your ship.
2 out of 8, right?
Right. I'm going to grab my ruler here real quick. I just want to see
if your port flight arc is in.
It's not. It's not. What I'll do sometimes, I'll just zoom in real close and just try to like line it up.
Yeah.
And you are not within range of that firing arc.
That's when we play full thrust. That's when the line laser gets a lot of use.
Right. It's a little wonky though.
Yeah, it doesn't stick where you put it.
Yeah, it has like snapping points where it wants to come from. I have another game called Myth Wars that it also kind of causes issues in that game too. It's just one of the weird. I don't know. I would kind of call it a design flaw. You would think that it would just go from like closest to closest, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna make a point real quick. So after you attack, after you use the attack action, if your target is within range, if they can fire back at you, they get to do the counterattack, right?
Yeah.
You also can be counterattacked when you finish your activation. So if you just finish your activation within someone's firing arc, they can shoot at you.
Okay. Kind of like it's a target of opportunity. You've moved into their range.
Right.
Without addressing them, so now they can be like, hey, I see you.
So this is where having multiple firing arcs becomes very advantageous throughout the game as ships start kind of clumping together and movement becomes very important. It gets pretty exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and activate one of my ships now. We took quite a while to do that, those first 2 activations, but there was a lot of explanation there. I'm going to move my striker. I'm going to see if I can get it in range to attack your cruiser. There's one. Let's take a look. I am within range. I would have to take a negative modifier. And
But you get 3 actions, right?
I do, but I'm thinking that I want to defend as well. You know what? It's fine. We're moving in. So there's 2. I'm going to defend, and then I'm going to push the limit. So when you declare a push the limit, you roll a danger dice, and you take damage if it's a 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes it is like it does become kind of necessary if you're falling behind and stuff to kind of push the limit on some things, or it's just kind of you're pushing the limit. It's like a push the limit game, like a push your luck game, in some ways. It can be. to try to gain the advantage at the start, but it's a total risk, and I did take some damage there. I do still get the extra action though, even if I take the damage.
Yeah. It's just the negative consequence of trying.
Not
right?
within 4 inches. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to get my standard roll. I don't like it, so I'm going to retarget. Oh, I'm just going to let that go. And I have a negative modifier. So now you've got to deal with a 5 and a 4.
All right, so I need to roll a 1, and I need to. Let's sigh.
So here. Another thing to consider is that with these command tokens that we've distributed, we only gave 2 to each of us. There are command actions, and these are just like...
I could take it's per round, right?
Per round? What do you mean?
Your command tokens?
It depends on what rules we play, what rules we decide on. So by default, your command actions would just be, or your command points would just be, you don't get any more during the game. Once you're out, you're out. Or you can play just with an additional rule, essentially, that you could have them replenish during each round. You could have a new one come in each round, 2 come in each round, but that's just a rule that you would decide on at the beginning of the game.
So I didn't like that roll, so I can take a command point and do strategic control and re-roll the dice that I roll, right?
Right.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my command token and do a command re-roll.
There you
and
go.
And it's a 5 because it's a negative, right?
Uh-huh.
But that still will cancel out your 5.
Yeah.
So I'll take 1 damage.
It'll cancel out anything equal to or lower than that roll. So
Is that correct?
So instead of 2, you're taking 1. Perfect.
All right. Hey, that's perfect. All right, so let's put that to the side. And then will that end your activation?
That does end my activation. I can only push the limit once per turn.
All right. So I
activation.
can only move 1 on my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to activate Dreadnought and move him.
Ooh.
And it's got 12-inch range. It's got 3 attacks, but it's only got 2 arcs, so I'm going to need to, on my next turn, kind of turn him.
So here's kind of a cool thing about this ship. There are actually quite a few ships in the game that have like either some special abilities on their firing arcs or on the ship itself. So this ship, the Salem Dreadnought, actually has what's called multi-use arcs or multi-fire arcs. And what that means is it's represented by the 2 dots that are under the attack power. That's showing how many times that arc can actually be used during each round.
Oh.
So
he gets 3 attacks. So I could maybe next round put this guy in broadside range of either of your ships or whatever ship is in range and then blast him twice.
Right.
Okay. I like that.
That could also be like you attack once and then you counterattack once as well. And this ship's very good at counterattacking because it's such big arcs on the broadsides.
I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a defense token and then say that this guy's activated. Now that does leave an action not used.
And that's fine. Yeah.
I don't see anything else that I would use. I wouldn't push the limit on it because we'll do that later.
Okay. Pushing the limit with a large ship. This is one of the disadvantages for large ships. They roll 2 dice, 2 danger dice instead of 1.
So you potentially could have twice the damage.
Right, you could take 2 damage. Cool. So, no attacking, no counterattacking. I'm going to go ahead and activate one of my ships. I'll probably also do my Dreadnought. Defend. And finish his activation.
Okay. All right, I'm going to grab my fighter. Now, this is the first time that the fighter has moved. 4 tokens, and the first one has to be a move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to move. 4. That's 1. And then we're going to say 2. No, 3. That's 2. And then... Oh, no! Rotate! Oh, this is... No, you know what? It can work. It can work.
Tabletop Simulator takes a little getting used to.
It does, a little bit, but I think we can do it. Okay, so... Yeah, you're in my the forward arc, right? The slingshot is, or
Oh, yeah, totally.
The striker is.
Yes. Now, there are some different like terrain rules essentially. There's debris, there's obstructions, and then there's mines. The smaller ships, the frigates and fighters, they count as what's called debris. You can shoot through debris. So even if my striker was in the way of the cruiser, you could still shoot the cruiser. But you can't shoot through the cruiser because it's a large ship. Large ships are obstructions, the smaller ships are debris. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in this case, you'd be able to fire at either one of them.
It's the difference between partial cover and full cover.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
So you are within 4 inches, which means you would get an extra dice as well. And there is one thing that I didn't really think about with fighters. You can have more than one fighter on the same base. And when you're actually 3D printing Brave Sun, you can do the multiple twist lock rods, like the double, the triple, quadruple twist lock rods, and have more than one fighter on the same base. The way we represent that here in Tabletop Simulator, and it's also available with the Brave Sun files, is just these little fighter tokens.
Yeah.
So these can represent an extra fighter on each base. And I'm going to retrospectively put that there and pretend there's 2 fighters. so we can kind of explain how that works.
So do you roll a dice per fighter?
You multiply their attack power. So yes. So the 1+ is per fighter. So the base just kind of represents 1, and then the token represents an extra. So you've got 2 fighters, so it's going to be 2 plus plus.
All right. So I'm going to attack...
There is a maximum. The maximum is 4 plus plus plus. You can't have more than 3 pluses, like 3 positive modifiers. You can't have more than 4 attack dice in a single attack.
Okay. I'm going to use my 2 dice.
You do get an extra because you're 4 inches, within 4 inches.
Okay. I'm going to take my 3 dice then, and then I'm going to attack the striker.
Okay. Let's see it.
So that's 2 hits.
You could re-roll. You do get 2 pluses as well.
I'm going to re-roll just the 1.
The re-roll is all or nothing.
Oh, man. Big spender.
That's
well,
better.
That's
That's slightly better.
Yeah.
And you've got your 2 pluses, so you could bump up like the 4 to a 6 to make it harder to dodge, or you could get 3 hits. You could do it however you want. You can spread those.
I'm going to do 3 hits. So this is a 1 right now, so I'm going to use the 2 pluses and turn that into a 3.
Okay. It is important to keep in mind as you're modifying what your opponent's defense roll is going to be. So with my defense roll, I get 2 plus I have a defense token, so I'm going to be rolling 3. So I have the potential to dodge all those.
Yeah.
I like to do this. And that potential was wasted. So I can block the 3 with a 3, but then I can't block the other 2. I'm going to take 2 damage.
Almost. Almost.
There we go.
Now, can he fire back at me?
If you were within my arc, which you're not, and if my arc was not used, but it is used.
Okay, so the arc's used, so that means you can't fire back.
Right. But once the new round comes, all the firing tokens are going to be removed. Everyone's going to be able to counterattack and attack again from all of their arcs. Oh, but you haven't finished activating, right? How many times how many actions have you used on the fighter? Was that 4?
I had to use all 4. I moved 3 and then fired.
Okay. Well, you could push the limit, or you could finish your activation. If you finish your activation, you will be fired at by my slingshot.
Oh, because he's in the side arc.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to push the limit. Got this attack dice over here.
Now, keep in mind, your fighters each have 1 health. So if if you get a 1, 2, or 3, you will lose one of those fighters.
I'm not going to push the limit then, because I usually did for defense. There you go.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a counterattack from this arc. I believe you're not within 4 inches, so it's just gonna be a 1 plus. Ooh, it's a 6. So you're gonna have to roll a 6 with 2 blue dice.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It could. You got a like a 1 in 3 chance or something?
All right, so this guy is dead.
What? But you rolled a 6, did you not?
Oh, don't I? You didn't roll 2 6s. There's only the 1 6 because there's 2 fighters here, right?
Right.
Did you roll 1 for each of them?
No. So the way that fighter squadrons work is only one of them can be destroyed at a time. So even if I actually did 2 damage to you, I can't destroy them both with a single attack. I can only destroy 1 per attack. Because they're in a...
Okay. They've got a little endurance then.
Yeah, they've got a little insurance, and that helps to make it so that they're not completely useless in combat. It also makes it so that it's a little bit more balanced. If you wanted to have them be 2 separate fighters instead of keeping them in a squadron, like you could fly them separately, and they would still have that same benefit, that like I can't shoot both of your fighters down at the same time. So if we didn't have that rule that only one can be destroyed at a time, it would kind of always be a better decision to split them up, for the most part.
Okay. Well, so my 6 beats your 6. So we're good.
So
that was
you're
a
good.
6.
You take no damage.
Whew. All right. That is... You have an activation then. You've got 1 more guy left.
Right, and I think I might swoop in and try to actually go for your fighters. Oh, and I guess I'll give myself an extra fighter because I gave you 1.
Yeah. Better keep it even.
Right. Alright. We'll go a little bit bigger angle. So that's 2 actions. My third will be to defend. And then my fourth will be to attack. I am probably going to get fired at. Well, I'm sure you're going to fire at me with the slingshot. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hope to defend it.
Definitely give me fire.
Check the dreadnought. The dreadnought's not in range, is it?
No, it's just out of range. It's an inch out of range.
Ah, okay. Nice. That was close. All
Well
right.
done, Ella.
So I'm firing at your fighter. I'm getting 2++ because I have an extra fighter. No, I'm getting 3 dice. 3 with a ++ because I'm within 4 inches.
Yep.
I do forget, but since this is 4 inches, you can always kind of check it with the maneuver track as well.
Oh, that's handy. And my wife's going to be calling me in about 5 minutes, so she's going to be getting off work. Wow. Okay.
Oh, and a ++. I can only take out 1 fighter at a time, though.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's...
Oh, wait, but yeah, you only have 2 defense dice. I rolled my 3 hits.
Someone's dying. But only...
You rolled 2 6.
All right, so I have lost... Where's this guy go? There he goes. Right there. I've lost one of my guys, but this guy is firing, and you are within 8.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
you're
gonna
getting a
roll
1+.
a 1+, so I'm gonna roll my dice. R. Well, it's a plus, so it's a 3.
And you could increase it again by spending one of these. So we took a look at the strategic control, which is re-rolling a dice. There is also overdrive, which is increase the value of a single dice you just rolled by 1.
No, I'm not gonna waste it.
Okay. Okay, I've got my 3. And I'm good.
All right.
But what that does as well is it gets rid of my defense token.
Burns the defense token.
And you fired at my striker, so that one's gone too.
All right. Does that end your turn? Oh, should I be marking the this arc?
Yes.
There you go.
I should have done the same on my slingshot. And then you would have one last ship to activate.
Yep. I've got this guy. I'm gonna grab my 4. Gonna reset it back to normal. And he gets... It's a frigate. He gets 3 actions. So I'm going to... Let's see how I want to do this. Yep, that's exactly how I want to do that.
One thing I'll point out too is that usually what we recommend in the rule book is people start with a 40-point game. We're playing with a lot more points than that. We've got the dreadnoughts that are 52 points, slingshot's 18, the striker's 10, and the fighters are 5 each. So usually like the first couple games that people play are going to be shorter and simpler, usually a few less ships as well. Ooh.
Thinking about it.
It's probably a good move.
All right. So that's my 2 moves. And
Yeah, you got a straight shot at me. So if the closest line between the 2 of us is obstructed, which would I guess kind of be like this, like doing the line like this. It's not always accurate, but it'd be something like this. As long as that's not obstructed, you don't have to worry about it. If there is an obstruction in the way, but another part of your arc can still shoot me, you just get a negative modifier. In this case, you're fine, because the closest distance from your arc to my ship is fine, not obstructed.
All right. So I'm gonna fire into your striker with my striker. Thank you. That's 2 dice, and then one of them is gonna be a negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna take this over here and roll, roll, roll.
Ouch. You get
Okay.
you get a reroll though, for free.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you
Hey,
can't
what it is.
reduce the 1, so it has to be the 5 to a 4.
There you go.
And I've got 2 defense dice. You could increase that. You could increase that to a 5 if you want. Or you could even spend your thing to reroll the 1.
I am gonna spend my command point to reroll the run.
Fair, fair. All right, here we go. Come on, striker, survive, survive. And it looks like I'm good.
All right.
So that's the end of a round, unless you wanted to push the limit or something like that.
No, I don't have any more. Well, no, push the limit is an action. Can I push the limit to attack again?
You cannot because that arc is already used.
Arc already been expended. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, that's it. Boop.
Cool. So then what we would do is we would just tap this nice little new round button, which is actually
Hey, it works.
yeah. It just gets rid of all the firing arc tokens and the activation tokens for us, and we're ready for a new round. However, when the new round starts, you get the initiative token. You would be the first one to activate. The only exception, I guess, is you can't activate a ship that just finished activating. So the only one that you wouldn't be able to activate first is a striker. Because it would be like, it's moving and doing a lot more than any of the other ships before they're even able to move. It just would kind of break immersion. So yeah.
All right, so it's my turn.
Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to color my ships a little differently. Because you and I have the same ships.
Yeah. How many points are we playing with? 10, 28, 30, 80. We're playing a 90-point game.
Is that how many we're doing? 90?
Right? Fighters are 5 each. So that's 10.
That's pretty big.
New striker, 38. Yeah.
Yeah, and we definitely don't have to finish this or anything. Alright, I'm just tinting my stuff so it'll be easier to tell what's what.
Slightly different.
So you said your wife's going to be calling, right?
She texted me, so I guess she got the message that I was live streaming, so.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
right, so I guess it's just a matter of finding out how we're gonna do this first. Okay, I'm activating the dreadnought first.
Okay. That's probably not a bad idea because you'll be able to do some counterattacks potentially if you get it into a closer position. Or if you get it close enough to just attack, I guess you could do that too, but I like to activate my ships first that I plan to use for counterattacking. Get them into a good position so that it puts pressure on the opponent. So even if they avoid my arcs, it's still like it forces them to have to try to avoid my arcs and maybe makes them do things they weren't planning on doing.
All right, so I am. Oh, why is that there? The defense. The defense. Okay, so the defense token was not supposed to be there. We've moved one. And we're gonna hit a defense token. And I guess that's it. Because we want him to be available for counterattacks.
You have one more action though, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you wanted to, you could totally attack my striker. Because you do get to fire from that arc twice. So if you fired at it, that's one use, but then you'd still get one counterattack. And the difference is that when you're doing an actual attack instead of a counterattack, you do get the retargeting. You do get to re-roll if it's a bad roll.
Okay. All right, here we go. Woo! No whammy, no whammy. I'll take it. I'll take it. See if you can beat my 3.
What? You don't want to re-roll that?
Re-roll.
You get to re-roll. Okay, okay.
All right. Beat that 6.
Not bad.
I think that striker's going bye-bye.
You wish. Roll. Roll. Okay, yeah. Oh. Okay. He's not going bye-bye. I'm spending 1. That's a 6.
All right. Fine, be that way. All right. That ends his activation.
I can counterattack with the striker. I'm actually not going... Ooh, should I? I could counterattack. I actually don't think I will, because I think I'm going to activate him right now. Now, there are some other counterattacks that we could do, though. I could counterattack with the slingshot. And you know what? I actually will, because you finished your activation there. You're within this arc, so I'm going to fire from this arc.
Go ahead and burn that arc. That's totally fine with me.
It's actually, you might be right. I might be wasting it. It's fine. I already placed the token.
Because there are 2 other ships that are in that arc, so...
Right, but I can't fire at them because they're not activating. They're not active right now. Let me just check. Yeah, you're within 8 inches. All right, here we go. A 5, a 3, and a 3, and I have to take a minus.
All right. So I'm rolling 3 because of the defense token. Is that correct?
I'm sticking with this. Yeah, you're gonna get 3 dice.
All right.
No Oh, there is a plus modifier. Jeez.
Well, thank goodness I have a plus modifier. There we go.
So 1 damage.
Yeah. 1 damage out of 10, though, so we're doing okay.
Yeah. Nice, nice. Okay, but that was just a counterattack. Now I'm going to actually activate. Oof. Yeah, I that probably was just straight up wasting that arc. It's fine, though. Everything will be fine.
Game and learning how to play.
Just because I made the game doesn't mean I'm good at the game. Oh, and this defense token's gone. Let's work on your slingshot. Let me grab the... I think I'm going to actually add some hotkeys or something with regards to, like, maybe spawning these maneuver tracks. So we don't have to, like, go and grab them each time.
Oh, he's so close!
1, 2, and then my third action is going to be to attack. So I'm getting an extra dice.
Because within 4?
Right.
All right.
I will re-roll the 1.
Give me just a second. Hey, gorgeous! What'd you say?
I figured you might.
No, it's still going. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm just being silly. You could stop and get some KFC wraps.
Moving out again.
No, don't worry about it, sweetie. Just come home and enjoy yourself. Love you. I'm just playing with that dice, right? That doesn't count. That one totally didn't count.
I wasn't aware you were rolling. I was actually looking somewhere else.
I rolled. It was a 1.
Oh.
So I'm taking 3 damage.
Yes.
That's a lot of damage, man.
Yes. You
I'm gonna
should have taken out my striker when you had a chance.
I am absolutely gonna counterattack you.
I'm gonna actually just replace these damage tokens with the 3s.
Make it nice and clean.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how many damage tokens and activation. How many tokens basically I need to include in the giveaway.
Yes. What I like to do is I use the ones that are this shape as 1 damage, but then the fire, it's like a little ball of fire. That one's for 3.
Okay. All right, so I am counterattacking your striker. We're gonna see if we can get rid of it finally.
I think you will. Whoa.
I'm gonna re-roll that. No, it's a counterattack. I can't re-roll it, right?
You can't reroll a counterattack, no.
And I don't have any more command tokens, so I guess I'm gonna turn this one into a 1.
I think my striker might survive.
Let's see.
Oh! He dies. He dies.
Too soon, sir.
Oh no. I can cancel that, but I can't cancel that one. Oh, wait. But I have 1 more command token.
Spend this command token.
Is it worth it?
You're totally not going to need it.
I don't think it's worth it, especially because he's already activated. I think he dies. I think he's done. He's gone.
Dun, dun, dun.
You got him.
Point.
What'd you say?
10 points to me.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the end of your activation. I think I shall activate. That's not what I want to do. Then I want to do that, that. Yep.
Close enough.
Close enough. So do I get 2 dice because I'm within 4? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So you've only got the 1 fighter, but it gets a squadron, a whole squadron together gets an extra dice if they're within 4.
All right. I'm attacking your fighters, but I can only kill 1. So this probably killed my fighter, but I'm gonna try and kill at least 1 of yours.
Okay.
Or just 1 of yours. Roll!
Ooh. And you have a plus.
So we're gonna go big.
Watch me roll 2 6s.
Do it.
Oh, I got 1.
I can get 1 of them.
I was actually trying to catch that. It would not be... I don't think it'd be worth it. I think I'm just going to lose a fighter. Now, when you attack, if you're within one of my arcs, I do get to attack immediately.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's a 2 dice with a plus. No reroll. I'm gonna go for a 4 instead of 2 hits.
Ooh, okay, here we go. No whammy, no whammy!
Okay, you're good. You're fine.
Alright.
Okay, now you activated. I do get to activate now. I'm going to move my slingshot. Close enough.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh!
See, this is where it gets fun and exciting. He's already fired from the front arc.
But he can fire from each of his side arcs, right?
He could. And I think he's gonna. I only have to pick one at a time. Like, I'm gonna do an attack on this side.
Okay.
And then depending on how it goes, like I could change my mind and do a defense or something like that.
All right.
So, what is it? 2 dice with a plus?
Yep.
Because I'm within 4 inches. Ooh, that's not bad. You could die, actually.
Yeah, I could definitely die if I botch this. 1 dice with a negative. Ah!
You need a 5. Oh, you got the 5! Alright, so that's going to be 1 damage.
Bam.
You are so close to death. And you could counterattack me if you want to.
I am definitely counterattacking you. With my 1, right? 1 with a plus?
I think you're close enough. Yeah, I mean, you're close enough for an extra dice.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Then we'll make that a 5. There we go.
I only have a 1 minus. Probably not going to dodge it. Never mind. I dodged it. Blocked. Get blocked. Okay, so that arc is used.
All right.
I am going to attack from this other arc.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. And he will have used all 3 of his arcs, which is cool. Jeez. My rolls are pretty good. Here, it's 2 5s.
Are these digital dice that are totally digital, totally loaded?
I know the secrets to get good rolls. No, I don't.
Apparently it's not hitting R a whole bunch of times.
That is partly why I like to actually roll them. I don't know. It feels more random when you actually like roll them rather than hitting R. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that feels way better. Why does anyone do the other way or the other way?
I don't know. I mean, they do kind of go flying, so sometimes they roll off the table, but
all right. I took my medicine.
Oh, wait. I would get an activation token, which means, yeah, if you wanted to, you could counterattack.
All right. I'm totally doing that. 2 dice with a negative, except it's 3 dice because we're within 4. And we are rolling these. Take that.
A 4, a 5, and a 4?
Yep.
Holy cow. I need a 5, I need a 5, I need a 5. Oh, okay. I'll take that.
That'll do.
So I can cancel 1. And I'm taking 2, so I'm just going to replace this with a 3.
Okay.
Now, it's your turn to activate. I'm going to point out another action we haven't really talked about, and that is the repair action. And it's just cost 2 action points. Remove 1 damage from your ship.
All right. I'm going to activate the slingshot then. And slingshot is a cruiser. That means he gets 4 actions. No,
Cruisers
he gets
get
3.
3.
So I'm going to remove 1. And I am going to defend.
Okay. I think that's probably a pretty good idea, especially since he's already used 2 of his arcs. And then we'll put an activation. Yeah.
There.
Now, I don't have anything to counterattack that with, but I have my Dreadnought.
Your Dreadnought is... The only thing he's currently in range of is the fighter.
I totally forgot my Dreadnought existed until just now.
2 inches. He's still only going to be in range of the...
Well, if I'm moving with the 2, I'm actually moving like 6 inches, I think.
Well, let's see. Let's see how it rolls out.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna move him.
And that means I've been thinking wrongly about this thing.
The sizings are the frigates are 2 inches, the cruisers are 3 inches long, and the dreadnoughts are 4 inches long.
So
And
what
then-
you're saying is every time the dreadnought moves, he's only moving 6 inches. So he's kind of like a Battlefleet Gothic ship.
Well,
Or-
unless you're gonna use it to slide, like if you're gonna slide it along the 4-inch track or something, because I could just place the 4-inch track next to it and slide it along that, and it would be moving exactly 4 inches.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Maybe
if I'm using
Maybe I have that wrong with BFG as well. I need to look at that. Okay, so you can obliterate my tiny ship if you want for revenge.
I could fire at your slingshot twice.
It is double negative because I've got a defense token and you're at 9 inches.
So yeah, at 9 inches I get a negative, and the defense gives you an extra. Yeah.
But he's so close to death.
Yeah.
It might be worth it. Obliterate, just fire. I mean, you could fire once at this guy and once at this guy, and maybe eliminate both of them in a round.
Well, I'm gonna start with shooting at the slingshot.
Okay.
So that's a 2 with a minus. I will retarget. Oh!
Okay. So you're saying that?
No. Your only shot is if you roll 2 6s. Is that right? Is that not right? You actually got one.
Well, no. So he's still alive technically.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. That's what I was thinking. You just need 1
Yeah.
6. That's what I was. That's right.
Ugh.
He is alive.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh. So do I fire at him again?
Well, he doesn't have a defense token anymore.
Right.
So
He's going
yeah.
down. Dude, it's gonna be it's not that it's gonna be. I know it is, but it is even more fun and exciting to actually see the models as well, with the guns that kind of represent the arcs and everything. It's so cool, kind of seeing these battles play out. With
the Salem is primed, so the FedEx ship will be part of the.
Because you're gonna paint it with FedEx colors.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an attack, so I do get a retarget.
You toggled.
With a minus.
See,
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll it. I'm gonna re-roll it because that's what I'm saying with just the spamming R. It feels almost not completely random.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is what it is. I mean, the game has to end somehow, right?
I think you die anyway here because you only get 1 defense. 1 defense dice, right?
Yeah, 1 defense dice with a negative.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. No whammy. Well, no, there's no way I can.
There's no way to defend it. It's a 3.
It's a 3.
Which is a 2.
I'm
All
dead.
right, slingshot's dead.
Oh, not that one. There we go.
Perfect.
All
Okay,
right.
so that's 3 actions. Oh, I do get a 4th action technically, huh? There's nothing for me to do with it, so I'm going to be done.
Okay, so my striker.
Can activate, but it won't be able to fire.
That's right.
So what I like to do is just kind of place this on it.
Yeah, he has to activate, so he's gonna activate, and he's gonna. Can I defend? Oh no.
I mean, what,
Striker is 4 actions, right? No, he's got
no,
3
so
actions.
he's a frigate, so 3 actions. So
I'm gonna repair 1 and defend.
he has to move.
Oh, he does have to move. Okay, well, shoot. We're gonna move. straight ahead. That's one action.
I'll put you like right.
Yeah.
About there.
And then, well, the fighter's here. So yeah, I guess I'll defend. Well, no. This is the end. I'm gonna repair. There you go.
See, that was probably a good idea.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Because if you think about it, I have one more activation to do. And then, well, technically, okay. So here's something that you do have to think about. I'm going to activate, then it's going to be a new round. The initiative token will pass, so I will activate again. And I'm not saying like that what you did is like a bad decision or anything like that, but it's just something that you always have to think about.
It's back-to-back activations. Well, it's not, but it is.
Right, I won't be able to activate this one back to back.
Yeah.
But I will activate twice in a row.
It's really what you have to do, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It keeps things balanced, with initiative and everything. Okay, so I can't really do much with my fighter anyway. Like it's just going to be.
You can move and defend. That's really it, right?
Yes, and in fact, I think what I'm going to do is a U-turn. Now, this might be the first time that we're flying through someone. If you're flying through someone that's considered debris, which would be small ships, there's no penalty. But if you're flying through an obstruction, like an asteroid or a large ship, you do have to roll danger dice.
Yeah.
So that's a U-turn right there, which costs 2 actions. And then I will defend, and that's it. How'd that round go?
That was, I mean, it was an active round. We actually did stuff.
Yeah. It's cool. Like there's quite a lot that happens throughout the game, and it feels a little bit like, even though there's only 2 rounds that we've done so far, it feels like we've done a lot because we've taken turns activating ships, and each ship actually is able to do multiple things.
Yeah.
When I play Star Wars X-Wing, it just kind of feels like damage doesn't happen as often as you would expect, and then there's like whole turns that you're just trying to like turn around to face each other again and fire at each other again. It just doesn't happen as much in this game. So I've got the initiative token. I can't activate my fighter again because it just activated. But what I can do is I can activate I'm going to do the Salem, and he's going to shoot at your striker.
So with your fighter, with the U-turn, basically you did the Babylon 5 maneuver, where your fighter moved and then turned backwards so he was ready to shoot. I'd like that a lot. I think that's a good representation of space combat.
Yeah. So that was my roll. I'm going to retarget. So that's my attack on your striker.
Striker. So that is 2 dice. And we're going to roll. So you
That was
have...
a 6, right?
That was a 6. Yeah.
Okay.
So I took care of your 4. I took care of your 3, but I took a hit.
Okay.
Striker, yeah, 1 damage.
I could shoot it again. Should I shoot it again?
You could.
Oh, here's another thing. Here's something I forgot. I didn't notice that it even had a defense token. Okay, so because defense, like the defense token represents active defense, like either evasive maneuvers or like power to shields or something like that. If you activate again and you have a defense token at the beginning of your activation, you lose the defense token. So in order to keep the defense token, you have to spend another action to use another defense action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like if I last turn was putting power to shields to get the defense, now that I'm activating again, I have to continue to put that power towards shields. I don't just get all 4 of my actions without having to shield again. Because I'm still putting power towards shields, but last turn or last round, it was just kind of wasted. I was putting power towards shields, but I didn't get attacked.
Yeah, I think with Tabletop Simulator having did Tabletop Simulator keep that defense token from the last round?
It does. So yeah, the defense tokens don't get removed at the end of the round. They get removed at the beginning of activating that ship.
Okay.
When that ship gets its actions again, it loses defense tokens if it has them.
So it does make sense that the new round button doesn't remove that. Okay.
Right. So
Good.
I do want to keep it. I think I'm not in range of your striker. Just want to make sure of that so you can't counterattack. I'm going to attack again. At your striker.
You mean not the sail?
No, the striker. I just wanted to make sure like that you couldn't counterattack with the striker that I'm attacking.
Oh, I'm technically an arc?
I think it's not.
It's not. Because if you rotate this, it's kind of hard to
It's
do
like
it now.
really close. If you get down
like right here, like this is not the right angle, but it's close enough to the angle where it's not touching it.
I guess if you kind of did
Yeah,
something like
it's not an arc.
this. Okay, well I'm going to shoot you again. I hope you're ready.
I'm not.
I'll re-roll it. A 5 and a 3.
I think I'm gonna die this round.
No, you could block it. Oh, that wasn't a roll. Re-rolled that. Oh, it's the same.
It's hacks. I swear, it's hacks.
You do survive, though. You do survive.
Get rid of this guy. And put that guy up. There we go.
You know what? I get one more action. I'm moving.
Okay. Oh, that puts you in a... I thought that this slingshot was mine for a second.
Oh.
Okay. Will that complete your turn?
Yeah. You could, because I'm finishing my activation here, you could counterattack me with your dreadnought.
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna counterattack. It seems like a trap.
It's a trap.
Hey, we gotta burn it down somehow. Okay. I'm counter. Okay. So normal. We're rolling. We grab these guys and counterattacking the dreadnought. Make you spend that defense token.
Okay. So I'm going to get 3 dice with a plus. The way they roll. 5 and a 3. I'm good.
All right. And put a firing arc right
Pretend
there.
that didn't move. It's about right there. Your turn.
All right. I'm gonna lose this match. It feels like.
If at any time if you want to concede, you're welcome to concede. And right now the only game mode for now, there will be more. We did kind of talk about that before. Right now, the only game mode is to the death. We are playing around and experimenting with some like objective-based game modes, but I like to try to refine it so that it is like a fun and immersive gameplay experience that's like well balanced before just like pushing it out to the public.
I have the experience that I've had with my players on my local tabletop is while shooting ships is fun for the first couple times, the players really want to do other things.
Yeah.
So objectives are, I think, especially objectives that are unique to the specific players. For instance, I just printed out the Soulforge Studios Hive ship, which is the big ship for. Basically, they're making proxies for Battlefleet Gothic. So I printed out the Hive ship, which is the biggest Tyranid ship or a space bug ship, with big old quotations that they make. And so I texted the two guys that normally are the organizers for the games that when we have it over at the studio, is basically the one player, the space whale, and that player is be the person who learns how to launch fighters and do melee attacks. And then one player is going to act as naturalists that want to preserve the space whale. One's going to activate a defense force that wants to drive off or destroy the space whale. And another player is going to act as as basically whalers who want to kill and eat the whale. So that's going to be our next big game that we do.
That's awesome.
All right, so firing arc. Yeah, we're firing. We're firing at your Salem. And so we're going to take 3 dice because we are definitely within 4. Yep. And my Salem is firing at your Salem. And
Let's
we're
see
rolling.
it. It looks like it would be a 6.
Okay.
If you got rid of this, it would be a 6, I think.
All right, so that's 3 attacks.
I get 2 dice for the plus. I'm assuming you're not re-rolling or anything, yeah.
No.
Jeez, what's up with my rolls?
Hey, I still get 1, right?
You do.
All right, and then I will defend
Okay.
as my third and last action.
Okay. Great.
Oh no, he gets 4 actions.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. So what you could do is instead of defending, you could repair.
It's only 1 damage token. I'm not sweating it.
Okay.
All right, and that will be the end of my turn, or the end of that guy's turn. Activation.
Yes. Now, if you're finishing there, you are within 2 of my arcs on my slingshot.
Each of those arcs can fire, right?
Yes. I'm only going to counterattack from this one.
By the way, Brud in live chat says this stream goes hard. Not sure what that means.
Oh yeah, we're going so hard right now. I feel like our energy level is like not super hard right now.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've had a nice long day of work on a Tuesday that like today where I did pretty good, I'm sitting here kind of dosey.
So I've got a 5 for you to deal with on the Salem.
That's from this arc.
Yeah. That'll get
roll.
rid of your defense token, so you get 3 dice.
That's clever. 2 dice, 3 dice.
3 total. With a plus. Okay, so you're good. You dodged it.
Yep. And now you get to do the front arc.
Yep. Well, am I counterattacking from this arc? I don't think I am. I think I'm going to activate the ship.
That way you can re-roll it, right?
Exactly.
If you don't like the roll.
Right. So I'm going to now activate, and my first action will be to attack. do this. Boom, boom.
It's 4 dice.
You are right. So let's do one more.
Why not?
Nice. Might as well have not existed. So I've got a minus. I'm going to apply it to the 2. So you have to deal with a 6 and a 5.
Okay. Woo! Can I hit the table?
If we moved... Okay, it's good.
Yeah, how do I make this work? I don't have any command tokens, so I can't re-roll one of the dice.
I don't think you can dodge them both because you've only got the 1 plus.
Well, I'm gonna get rid of the. I'm gonna apply the plus to the 6 then, and take the 1 damage.
Okay. Not bad, not bad. So that's 1 action for me, and then my other 2 actions are actually going to be to repair 1. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
All right. All right. I'm gonna activate my striker, and is a
Gosh dang,
U-turn.
I forgot. I forgot about this striker. He's already at 3 damage. He was in my arc too.
Striker's a frigate.
Yeah,
Okay. But he has to move, right?
he does.
So I can't U-turn. Okay.
Well, you could. Well, okay. So it doesn't have to be the move action. It has to be a movement related action. It could be move or a U-turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna U-turn, and then so that's 4-inch, and then I flip it, right?
Yep.
4 inches, and then rotate.
Oh.
Whoa! Okay.
He does a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll.
All right, and then
He'd be a little closer.
that's within 7. No, what am I doing? It's base to base.
Yeah.
It's not 4. That's what's the important. That's what the important thing is.
Yeah. So it's just
Or
gonna be 2 minus.
yeah, I'm gonna fire at your slingshot.
All right, let's see it.
Ooh, actually, if I fire at your slingshot, that's gonna trigger your counterattack.
That's true, but it'll count. It'll trigger even if you just finish your activation within range.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna fire into your slingshot for my striker. By the way, do you eat KFC over there in Utah?
I haven't had KFC in a while, but we have plenty of them.
What is your opinion of their coleslaw?
Oh, their coleslaw. I actually like their coleslaw. Why?
Go get a spicy wrap. It's a new thing they have.
Ah.
It's a chicken tender and a tortilla, but the spicy one, they take their coleslaw and they do something to it to make it spicy, and it is the best coleslaw I've ever had in my life. I already am a fan of their nasty garbage coleslaw, but it's their coleslaw that's spicy as well, and it's just it hits the spot for this Fat Boys art.
Wow. I'll have to try that. I'll go get a wrap with my wife sometime.
So I've got 2 hits.
Oh. Oh, my slingshot.
Yeah, your slingshot. We'll see if I have 1 hit.
I don't like. I've had some really good rolls during this game.
It's both dice too, so it's not like I don't know. Is there a way to modify your dice in the game? I don't know.
I don't. Not that I know of. I promise I'm not cheating. I did take 1 damage.
All right, that works. That works. All right, that is the end of that boy's activation.
Okay, I'll counterattack you. It's going to be 1 with a plus. You could very well dodge it. Oh, but it's a 5. Which, like, good rolls, man. I'm telling you. My defense rolls, especially. My defense rolls have been really good. Now, I love watching Warhammer online, like on YouTube and stuff. And
Dude, playing on tabletop is like the quintessential uh, presentation of Warhammer.
yeah, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Um,
I talked to my wife about
but there's
getting
lots
that
of luck.
quality, and she's like, no, because to do that would be like they play on a smaller table than we do because ours is a 6 foot by 6 foot table to accommodate lots of players. But in order to do that, we would have to fill that entire room with lights. That would make that room, which already gets hot when you have 3 or more players in there, get way hotter. And then we'd have to have. We've talked about the jig that we or the jib that we. Oh, oh, what happened?
Don't worry about it. I I accidentally deleted my ship and then I rewound time.
Okay. Uh, yeah, we might be there someday, but not until we get way more subscribers.
Yeah.
We hit the 100,000 subscriber mark. We might have to get our studio looking like that. But
Yeah.
at 500 subscribers, no one cares.
It'd be fun though.
It would
I've been
someday.
I've been considering also on top of doing Brave Sun 3D modeling, like doing the Starship modeling, doing like Warhammer proxies as well. It's a big market.
It is a very big market. For Are you talking about the ships or the actual ground units?
Ground units.
It's a pretty big market, and everyone that is in that market is, I think they're bringing their A game. So I would recommend you look at the Printed Warhammer subreddit, and yeah, just start there and see what kind of things people are bringing out.
Yeah.
Because people like Valentine, who does Tau. Oh my gosh, her stuff looks better than the official model for Tau.
That's cool.
She has a manta that you can buy from her from Colts 3D. That's like $60 for the files.
Wow.
But compare that to the official manta, which is $1,800. It's a no-brainer because her manta looks better, and you're guaranteed not to get warped parts from Forge World. How anyone puts up with that with a model that costs $1,800, I have no idea.
I don't know, man.
I don't get it. But you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. Warhammer is the most successful miniature company that exists, so they got to be doing something right.
Right. They've been in business for a long time, so they've really won a lot of people to the lore behind the game, the books. They got video games. They got so much, and it's cool. It's a really fun and interesting world that they've built. I don't think things like that really catch on though until some time passes and you're like building your following over a long period of time.
Well, yeah, they have 35 years.
Yeah.
And they're not the biggest because they're the best. They're the biggest because they're the longest running.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. They've won a lot of people over to their cause, and it generates a lot of excitement. When you see a lot of people posting content about it, it automatically makes you feel like, oh, this is a big deal. Like, I want to look into this. I want to be a part of this. And it's fun. It's fun, yeah. And I really like what they've created.
It really is fun. I have, despite the fact that we have a local Warhammer store in our area that I go to frequently, and, you know, they know that I'm a 3D printer. But what I am there for is paint because, like, I like Vallejo and I like Monument and I like Army Painter, but really the only game in town, unless I'm ordering online, is Games Workshop.
Yeah.
And I hate their pots, except that their pots do not make sense for layer paints at all. But when you look at their washes and their contrast paints, those pots, as much hate as they get, like those paints are designed kind of to paint out or to get out of the pot if you're not watering down your contrast paints. So those pots with that specific application make sense.
Yeah.
But only in that application. They deserve all the hate they get for any other application.
But deal
just-
with it. They're making tons of sales.
I just spilled 3/4 of my, what is this? My Imperial Fist contrast on my tile floor. So
Oh no.
no, this is the one I spilled earlier that I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where did we end up? I got a little distracted.
So whose turn are we at? Is it my turn to activate?
Let's see here. I have 2 ships that have activated. You have 2 ships that have activated. You have initiative, so it's your turn.
Okay, I think that's right. That math won't always check out because of ships being destroyed like during the round. But
Yes,
I
but no
think
one.
we both had one destroyed this round.
Yeah.
I thought you would activate your fighter by now, so, so now I'm in a predicament.
You're gonna miss. It's okay. You're totally gonna miss.
Okay, check this out.
Does he have to move first? Oh,
Yes,
you're moving.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. So I'm just taking the risk. I'm gonna bump. So it's called a bump, but it's essentially kind of like pushing the limit on your ship. Like the pilot's not going to just straight up ram into somebody else, and the pilot's gonna do everything that they can like to avoid the collision. So it's kind of like pushing the limit. You roll a danger dice, and you have a chance of doing damage to your ship
But
by
doesn't
trying to
that
avoid the
mean,
collision.
do I also roll a dice?
No, you don't. So it's like my pilot is avoiding the collision by pushing the limits of the ship.
Okay.
Okay. And I do re-roll. I'm going to re-roll it because otherwise my fighter would be straight up dead. And I'm good. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm going to need some dice anyway.
Roll,
What's that?
do you get to re-roll damage dice? Or a danger
the
dice?
danger, I re-rolled it because I spent a command token.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
You're good. I did spend a command token my last one. This is my roll after retargeting, so
All right, so all I have to do.
all you need is a 3.
Okay, here we go. Hitting the roll button. Oh, it's so bad. All right, well, do the track you go.
Something about that was so freaking funny.
Whoop.
It was like the dinkiest little roll, and it's 2 2s.
Yeah. It's awful. It's so bad. Well, that is the end of this round, I think.
It is, yeah. This is activated. Unless if I wanted to move again. Because I only moved once. I shot. Oh, well, I would defend. And then that would be the end. And so we would hit the new round button. If you want to be done, we can call it here.
All right. Let's call it here. It looks like I am going to declare myself the loser of this round, of this game, with 3-2. Yeah, this was super fun. I think this is easy enough for people to teach themselves from the manual. I'm definitely gonna have to bring my local group in and play this a few times and see what they think about it. But
Yeah.
thank you much for watching our stream. If you watched either on the Blitz Gaming channel or on Pulse Fired Gaming, we both appreciate your views. And don't forget, if you're interested in getting the STLs for the Brave Sun Starships, which are utterly fantastic, to follow my link in the description of this live stream. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys. Check us out on Kickstarter.